Hi there, happy Friday. This is Shayna from the Trade Exchange. Now, we may have had a short week, thank you to Martin Luther King Jr. Day on Monday. However, that hasn't stopped it from being a very interesting and busy week, especially for some of these stock names that we saw this week. EIGR Iger Biopharmaceuticals. Take a look at their stock price because on Tuesday, this stock dropped 45%. Well, this is after a press release came out by the company saying that their phase 2 Liberty study for pulmonary arterial hypertension, it did not meet its primary endpoint. Well, naturally, because of this, they're going to be discontinuing the study of Ubitamex for pulmonary arterial hypertension. However, they're going to continue developing it for lymphedema. So those results are expected in the second half of 2018. Despite all that, with the negative news coming out on this study, they did have some price targets decrease. Piper, they lowered their price target to $17, and Oppenheimer lowered their price target to $26. The name did come out defended by Jeffrey, saying that the sell-off was an overreaction. JUNO Therapeutics. Take a look at this stock because they're up over 50% this week. Well, who is JUNO? They're actually a leading developer for CAR T immunotherapy treatments for blood cancers, despite the fact that they had to pull one of their leading candidates last year for patient deaths in clinical trials. So why is their stock price up so much this week? Well, this has to do with a rumor that's circulating that Celgene is in talks to acquire JUNO for an undisclosed amount. And this is to potentially diversify Celgene's drug portfolio. Now, keep in mind, Celgene earlier this year bought Impact Biomedicine for $7 billion. Some investors are not completely surprised by this rumor, as JUNO and Celgene have actually been working very closely since 2015, when Celgene made a $1 billion deal with JUNO that included a license for Celgene to commercialize JUNO's immunotherapy cancer treatments. Well, with all this great positive news on this rumor, Wells Fargo raised the price target of JUNO to $63. Maxim, they raised their price target of JUNO to $98. And Leerink came out saying that JUNO could be worth over $88 in a takeover deal. SunTrust said this acquisition rumor, it could boost CAR T stocks across the board. FORD, Forward Industries, and they are indeed moving forward with the announcement that they have acquired Intelligent Product Solutions. Intelligent Product Solutions is a product design and development company based in Long Island, New York, with many major clients such as Google, PepsiCo, Motorola. Well, based on this news that Forward Industries has acquired this company, their stock price jumped 238%. The stock price did come down a bit, but still closing up over 138%. So it's going to be very interesting to see if next week, with today it traded over 50 million shares and closing up 138%, if this is going to continue into next week. So we're going to be keeping an eye on Forward Industries. And your indices. So market did all right this week. We have the Dow closing up 1.04% this week, closing at 26,071. S&P is closed up 0.86% this week, closing at 2810. And the Nasdaq also closed up 1.04% this week, closing out 7336. Now the VIX, we did see it hitting levels above 12, but it came back down slightly, closing out 11.27. Well, that wraps up this week, and we want to thank you for joining us on a short but nevertheless an interesting week. Tonight, is there going to be a U.S. government shutdown? We will find out, but in the meantime, and despite all that, we want to wish you a very safe and happy weekend. And again, we thank you for joining us. Have a great night. Good night.